I am Mr. Herman, I'm the drama teacher for the 11th and 12th grade here at Chandler Prep, and I wanted to say welcome to Once in a Lifetime by George Kaufman and Hart. This play was written in the 30s by the duo that wrote The Man Who Came to Dinner, You Can't Take It With You, a couple of huge Broadway hits. And this is a play that kind of, it's a satire and talks about the Hollywood era of the 1920s. We went from the silent film to the talkies, and how everything changed with Al Jolson, the jazz singer. Anybody ever seen the jazz singer? No? Yes. Right. So, this is the 12th grade production. We had a great matinee today. Really proud of this bunch. As you can see, this takes place, we decided to put it on a Hollywood set. It's a play within a movie, within a movie, within a play. So, a lot of set changes going on, a lot of people doing different things that make everything come together with the different scenes. And we've had a big change that we have a gentleman in our class, a great student, David Cook, who's integral to the class and to the cast. And he's been sick for days, and he's running 103 temperature for about 3 days in a row and has not been able to join us today. So this morning we found that out specifically, and we have Matthew Sielaff, who's a 12th grader, stepping in for David, and he will be on newspaper. And, their idea. So, and we're really thrilled to have him. We're really lucky, and we had a great matinee today. And it makes everything kind of fun. I think that you guys will enjoy it a little bit more. And it's a really great that you've been able to step in and help us out. I appreciate it. I want to acknowledge a few people: Megan, Jacob, Katarina, who are backstage running the lights, doing everything, stage managing, doing set costumes that are not here on stage with us, but are probably have done everything that you see up here, all the costume design, the set design, putting things together. Everybody in our cast and our crew for finding the music, figuring out how to do these transitions and everything. It's been a real collaborative team effort. So I'm really thrilled. I hope you enjoy this. We will take 2 7-minute breaks. The play will run just under 2 hours total. And I appreciate you supporting CPA Theater. I say this quite often. There's a statistic out there that says if a student doesn't see a play by the time he leaves high school, after she leaves high school, there's an 80% chance they will never see a play. This is a requirement here at CPA, and it's fantastic. They have to be in drama in 11th and 12th grade. It's going to make them better people, better engineers, better Peace Corps workers, teachers, baseball coaches, whatever it is. Doing drama is such an integral part of humanity, and it's great. So, as I mentioned, 80% chance. They have a chance to be B or C in 48 plays between 9th and 12th grade here. Pretty amazing. So, and that's a testament to great hearts and to the CPA community. So, thank you very much. Enjoy Once in a Lifetime.
Listen, man, are you going to keep talking until Jerry gets here?
What's Jerry up
to, George? Is he going to land us something or isn't he? How much longer are we going to have to wait around here?
Don't ask me, ask Jerry.
Oh, I will. There'll be a showdown tonight. The automat don't spell home to me.
We don't live there.
We do everything but sleep there. We'd be doing that if we get beds into them slots.
You ought to have patience, May. We've only been here 4 weeks.
George, dumb as you are, you ought to be able to get this. The bankbook says there's just $128 left.
Sure.
Well, how long do you think 3 people can live on that?
Something will turn up. It always does.
Well, I'm glad you like those things. You're certainly a lucky fellow, because the way things are going, you're going to have to live on that in another week.
Go on, May. Nobody can live on Indian nuts. There isn't enough to them. Look, that's all they are.
All right. Oh, I'm just so sick of the whole business, I could yell.
You're just blue, May.
I wouldn't wonder. Living alone in that hall bedroom without even the crack of an Indian nut to cheer you up? Well, I wanted to do it, and here I am. I guess it's better than selling perfume to the feminine population of Connellsville, PA, but there's times when I wish I was back there.
Maybe we'll play there someday.
I wouldn't wonder.
I wonder if we'll ever play medallion. I haven't been back for 4 years.
Has gotten on that?
I don't think so.
I'll never play it.
Jerry did play it once. That's where he discovered me. He played the theater I was working in. I was an usher. Then Jerry came along and he offered me this job. He said I was just right for it.
Well, he certainly had a good eye. As far as I'm concerned, you're the best deadpan feeder in all the show business.
Don't the audiences like me too?
Well, no one ever gave birth in the owl, George, but you're all right.
I love music too. The longer we play the act, the more I like it.
Say, George, you and Jerry have been working together for 4 years now. Isn't Jerry a swell guy?
He's been a wonderful friend to me.
You know, I'd never tell anyone this, but I'll never forget what I owe Jerry Hyland. And don't you go telling him either.
I won't tell him. How much do you owe him?
George, please stop eating those things that go to your head. I don't mean I owe him any money, but he's never made me feel like we were anything but good friends, or that I'd have to feel any ways else to keep the job.
He never made me feel anything either.
Well, that's just Danny.
Shall I tell you something?
I wish you would.
I think Jerry likes you. No, I mean, he really likes you.
Okay, George. The question is, what are we going to do about bookings? Are we going to crash the big time, or aren't we?
We were doing all right on the small times. We could be working right along, you know what the booking told us.
Well, you know where the booking office books us? Bellows Falls, Vermont.
I liked it there.
What?
We had a good dinner there. With Jell-O.
George, don't you want to do anything all your life except to knock around the map as a small-time vaudeville actor?
No.
You don't?
No.
Well, I guess that settles that. You may as well go and read.
No, I feel like talking now.
I get reading.
Hello, Jerry.
Hey, it's here. I've got some news for you. I saw History Made tonight. I've just been to the opening of Al Jolson's jazz singer.
What of it?
And I'm telling you, it's the greatest thing in the world.
Well, there have been good pictures before, Jerry.
I'm not talking about the picture, I mean Vitaphone.
The what?
The Vitaphone, the talkies.
Oh, that.
That, May. It's something so big, I bet even the Vitaphone people don't know what they've got yet.
Come out of it, Jerry.
But it's 6 months from now.
You know, it's no big deal because there's no money in your pocket, even if it is good.
No.
No? Well, we're leaving for Los Angeles in the morning.
What did you say?
We're leaving for Los Angeles in the morning.
Are you out of your mind?
Don't you understand, Nate? For the next 6 months, they won't know which way to turn. All the old standbys will be out in the cold, and anyone with brains and sense enough to use them will get into the big town.
Oh, what do we do out there? Actor? Actor what?
No. Acting is small potatoes from now on. Who knows what we'll do? Direct, tell them how to do things, give orders. There's no limit to what we can do.
Yeah, but Jerry, what do we know about...
Suppose we do cut loose. What have we got to lose?
$128.
Lord, man. Just need to track out to Hollywood and make the 49ers look sick.
You mean there's gold in them hills, Jerry?
We can work it. Get in quick. They're panic-stricken out there. We gotta get there fast.
But Jerry, give me time to think. Suppose we do get out there. How are we going to live? You heard what the boy wonder said. $128.
Got 500 more right here.
What? Where'd you get it?
Now don't yell, May. I sold our act.
You did what?
I sold the act. I took one look at the picture and sold the act outright to Eddie Garvie for 500 cash. It was the only thing to do, man.
I'm not getting sore, Jerry, but...
You sold the act?
No more moving all over the country, living in one place instead of...
Well, I'm with you, Jerry. You had some hell of a nerve, but count me in.
Good for you. How about you, George?
What?
Are you willing to leave all this behind and cut loose for Hollywood?
Well, but look, if you sold the act.
So what? I sold the act. We're gonna go out and try this new game.
Come
What
on,
do you-
George.
But what do we do out there?
We can figure that out on the train.
But if you sold the act,
Oh, George, look, he sold the act. We're not gonna do the act anymore. Don't you understand that?
yeah, but he sold the act.
I understand that he sold the act. Look, George, there's a new invention called the talking pictures. In these pictures, the actors will not only be seen, but will also talk. And the first time in the history of the pictures, they're going to use their voices. Oh, I've got an idea.
What?
I think I know what we're going to do out there.
Well,
Most of these bozos have never talked on stage. They've never spoken lines before.
I gotta learn, that's all.
Yeah, you bet they do. And who's going to teach them? We'll open up a school of elocution and voice culture.
Yeah, but us, with a schoolmate, we don't know anything about it.
Yeah, maybe you don't, but I went to one once and it's easy.
School of elocution and voice culture. It might not be a bad idea.
What's electrocution?
Yeah, if I know actors, Jerry, they'll come running. It's the best idea anybody ever had. How soon are we going to leave?
Tomorrow, right after you see the picture, though. I want you to see the picture first.
Okay.
But what'll I do? I don't know anything about electrocution.
If you don't know anything about anything, what they say about the movies is true, you'll go far. Oh, I remember lesson number 1 now.
If you're sure we can get away with it, hey.
Oh, it's a 6, Jerry, just watch. Come here, George. Say, California, here I come.
Why?
Say it.
California, here I come.
Now then, stomach in and chest out. Oh, no, it's the other way around. No, that's right, stomach in and chest out. Now say it again.
California, here I come.
Now this time feel it.
California, here I come.
It works, Jerry, it works.
If it works on George, it'll work on anyone.
Here we come.
When the wintry
Winds stop blowing and the snow is starting to fall. Then my eyes went first were dumb and there's a place that I love best of all. California, I've been blue since I've been away from you. I can't wait till I get going. Even now, I'm starting to fall. California, here I come, right back where I started from.
web out
A flower bloom in the spring,
each morning.
a golden bird singing and everything.
The sun is set.
Don't be late,
That's why I hardly
open up your golden gate, California, here I come.
What is a 4-letter word for actor?
Dope. Oh, where are we now? Pretty near out this desert? Oh, no, looks like we're still in it.
Pretty dusty, all right.
It is, huh?
Oh, yes, ma'am. It's dusty, all right. Dust all over.
Thanks.
You're welcome. I guess it's your first trip out, ain't it, ma'am?
Yeah, how do you know?
Kind of be noticing the dust that way. I've taken out lots of folks. I mean, those going out for moving pictures like you folks, and they always notices the dust.
They do, huh?
Oh, yes, ma'am. But coming back, they don't seem to care so much.
Oh, did you hear that? Coming back, they don't seem to care so much. Well, I mustn't go out there this way. It's aging me. My God, don't you think the railroad would put in a couple of plants here and there? We have dust and sand. Well, I'm going to the lady smoker. Maybe I'll hear a good, dirty story.
George, listen. I've got to pull May out of this, you understand?
Sure.
You gotta keep her spirits up. Keep telling her we're gonna get away with this.
All right.
If she starts anything, we come right back at her. We're pioneers in the new industry. Talkies are gonna be a thing of the future. It's gonna be no stopping. You got that?
Yeah.
I just saw somebody I know. Well, anyhow, I used to know her.
Who is it?
This may mean something, Jerry. Maybe the luck's changing. It's Helen Hobart.
Helen Hobart, I read her stuff.
Sure, you do, and a million like you. America's foremost movie critic.
And she's on this train.
Well, how well do you know her?
We used to troop together. I knew her well enough to tell that she was a rotten actress.
My dear! Oh, perfectly lovely. How nice of you are being on this train.
Why, Helen, you Thinks I'm some sort of goddess. But if you knew how much that sort of thing. You do some sort of newspaper work, don't you? My dear, did you know? Don't tell me you're a film star. I write the most widely syndicated column in the United States. Anybody who reads the newspapers. But where have you been, my dear? You haven't heard about me. Well, I've been living in England for the past 8 years, Helen. That's probably why I didn't know. But go on and tell me. I'm frightfully interested. Well, you know, my dear, I can't quite tell you all. But I think that in all modesty, I can say that I am one of the most important figures in the industry. You know, it was I who made America's Gary Cooper. Yes, I've done very well for myself. You know, I was good right away. But I never expected to be the Helen Hobart. Of course, I can't tell you everything 1, 2, 3. But moviegoers over the country take my word as law. And of course, I have a perfectly fabulous salary. But I'm never allowed to buy anything. I'm simply deluged with gifts. At Christmas, my baby will hardly believe it. But before I came east, they presented me with a Beverly Hills. No kidding. Now listen to me rattling on. You want to ask me a word about you? Tell me what you've been doing. And what on earth have you abroad for 8 years? The last I heard of you. Well, of course, I never expected to stay in the theater. Well, not as an actress. I always felt I was better equipped to teach. Voice culture. I began with a few private pupils, and then Lady Tree persuaded me to take her on a while. And from that, I drifted into opening my own school, and it's been very successful. Of course, I will take the very best people. Mr. Hyland and Dr. Lewis are both associated with me, as I say. And now we are going to open a school in Hollywood. Oh, why? No, we hadn't expected that.
Hollywood? We hadn't thought of it.
But wait till I tell you. There's something going on at the present time that is simply going to revolutionize the entire industry. They finally perfected talking picture. No! Yes, but you can't imagine what it's going to mean. And here's the point. Every actor and actress in the industry is going to have to learn how to talk, understand. And if we were to open the first school, we couldn't think of such a thing.
No, Miss Hobart.
Sure, that's why we're going.
I think we have a answer. What about our school in London? May, America needs you. You're still, I hope, a loyal American. Oh, yes, yes. But it's settled. This is fate, May. And in the industry, fate is the only thing we value. Oh, but really, Helen! Now, please, not another word. Oh, but this is marvelous. Right at this time. Of course, it takes a certain amount of money to get started. But I know just the man we'll take you to. Herman Glogauer. You know the Glogauer student? Oh, I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
yes.
I'll send him a telegram right away and ask for an appointment.
That's a good idea, George.
Is he important? Oh, my dear, one of the biggest. And he's the man who first turned down the Vitaphone. He did? So he buys everything now. Of course, you can't realize there's a school of voice culture opening up at this time. Well, because there's simply no limit to where the talkies are going. Just no limit. Tell me, Doctor, what do you think of this marvelous development of motion pictures? Just what is your opinion? Well, the doctor hasn't had much time.
What's that for the scientific end?
I think the legitimate stage had better look to its laurels.
My word, exactly. Just what I was saying in my column.
Here is a medium that combines the wide scope of the motion picture with the finer qualities of the stage proper.
Very true. You've got a great brain. I do have some time, Doctor. I want to discuss voice and body control with you.
Oh, hello, Miss Hobart. You said you were coming back and I waited.
Yes, dear, but this is important. I can't talk to you now.
When can you talk to me?
I'm sure I don't know. Later.
But I only want to ask you some questions.
I understand, but I'm very busy.
Because you could be of so much help to me.
Yes, dear. Why don't you come sit down?
Oh, why, thank you.
This is little Miss
Susan Walker.
Susan Talker. She's the little She wants to, yes.
I'm going to try to if I can get started. I don't know very much about it.
She doesn't know very much about it.
You could go to our school, May.
Yes, of course. Now run along and go read the book of the month or something. We're very busy.
But you will talk to me later, won't you?
Yes, of course.
Goodbye.
Are you riding the next car?
No, I'm in number 20 with my mother.
She's with her mother.
I'll take you back.
Oh, yes, that'll be fine. Go ahead, George. You won't stay long, will you, Doctor? Because I want to hear more of your ideas. I can tell you're giving it thought.
No, I'll be right. That is, unless. What is your mother's name? Mrs. Walker?
What a man. He must have been enormous, very big, wasn't he?
Yes, indeed.
May, do you think we can keep him in America? Oh, Jerry, do you think we can keep him in America?
I think we can keep him there.
I How much would it cost me to get things going?
50,000.
100,000. That's more like it. Mr. Glogauer is a big man. He does things in a big way. Now, we get to Hollywood on Thursday.
Oh, all right. I'll have you meet him if you want to, but it won't do any good.
Listen, if I talk to him, it will do some good.
Cigars, cigarettes.
Oh, say Kate, I got a tip for you.
Yeah?
I was down at University today, heard they were taking out a shipwreck picture.
Not enough sound. They're making it a college picture. Glee club.
No, that was this morning. French Revolution now.
Yeah, there's gotta be something in that for me.
Sure, there's a call up for prostitutes for Wednesday.
I'm going out there. Remember that prostitute I did with her now?
Yeah, but that was silent. This is for talking prostitutes.
The staircase clear?
Yes, it is.
The staircase is clear.
The staircase is clear, Miss Slay. The staircase is clear, Miss Fontaine.
Hey, put us that back table. I'm gonna make some waffles. Thank you.
Yeah, gosh darn it, they ought to know by this time.
Hello.
Hello.
So, you girls working this week?
No, we
Universal's doing a college picture down in Paramount.
Oh, say, I heard Universal's doing a picture in Paramount, French Revolution.
No, they just changed it. It's a college picture.
It's French Revolution here. They just changed it back down to Mentor.
Oh, that's good.
Yes, they're going to make the guillotine go all the way through.
That means I'm out of it.
You can't tell.
Can't tell one note from another.
I guess we'll find out in the morning.
Say, what do you think happened to me about 5 minutes ago? I was down the Mentor, doing my business. Singing. And as I walked in. Oh, Betty heard me. Said I had a great voice and told me to come see me.
Sad.
Gosh, I wish I'd been in the men's room.
Yeah,
Come on, Mother, hurry up! Yes, dear. This is wonderful here. Look, there's where they're all going to eat. Yes, dear. Don't overexcite yourself. But Mother, imagine practically every big star in Hollywood will be there. Yes, I know, dear. This is where they come every Wednesday. They're all over the place now. Look, can you recognize anyone? Wait, ain't that John Gilbert? Where? Where? Right there, right in the seat. Mother, that's Jonathan Train. I'm not sure if I wanted to tell everybody. More like John Gilbert. Well, we'll see some of the real ones tonight, Mother. Dr. Lewis and we're sure to see everyone.
If there's so many people trying to be picture actors, I'm not quite sure whether they'd ever give you a chance.
Oh, but it's different now.
I just saw her downstairs. What do you think after the preview of that last picture, she just stayed on the guide? Oh, Ernest. Ernest. Ernest, Mr. Norton. Expecting some guests. 2 gentlemen and a lady. Will they see if they're seated at my table?
Yes, sir.
Who's that man that came to the dance table? Must be one of our new ones, eh?
It must be.
I gave him just about 3 weeks.
Anything I can do for you, madam?
Why, no, I guess not.
Have any of the stars arrived yet?
Very few, miss. There are 1 or 2 cowboy stars here, but I don't suppose you'd be interested in that.
Oh, no.
I don't like westerns very much.
Of course, no one of any consequence gets here before 10.
But they'll all be here, won't they?
Oh yes, anyone who is of any importance in the industry comes here every Wednesday night.
Mikey must find it interesting.
Yes, you get life out here. In fact, I get most of my ideas for my scenarios right here in the hotel.
Scenarios? Mother, he's a scenario writer.
Really?
I dabbled in it, that's all.
Have you had any produced? Who was in them?
Well, Paramount is dickering for something with mine right now.
Mother, did you hear that? Paramount was dickering.
It is.
Well, of course, no one ever knows.
But to have Paramount dickering, who is the story for? I hope it's Greta Garbo.
It's wonderful.
Miss Garbo's all right, but
Who is it?
I think, yes it is, it's Buddy Rogers.
Really? Where? It is?
Oh, you ladies are very lucky. It's only 9:45. We've got Buddy Rogers.
Well, so I saw the cats inside. Why don't we just buy it? It's the biggest thing in New York today. Strange interlude. And look at the name you get, Eugene O'Neill.
Well, did he write the music too?
No, he's just a little retro. But if we can get him out here, I've got a great guy to team him up with.
Will you have some cigarettes?
No.
I'm sorry, I didn't chew them. Hello, Georgie. Isn't it exciting seeing all the stars and everything?
I should say so.
I left Mother at the staircase watching them all walk down. Hollywood is even better
wonderful, all right. It kind of reminds me of that time I went to the circus. Only there's no elephants.
I've been perfectly until I become a star, till I can do the things they do and have myself point out to tourists.
I'll tell you something, Susan. If you promise not to breathe it, who do you think we're going to meet here?
Who?
Herman Glogauer, one of the biggest movie producers in the country.
Really? Oh, George, will you tell him about me? See if he'll give me a heart?
Sure, that's what I'm meeting him for.
Oh, Georgie.
Susan, I just saw.
Dr. Lewis is meeting Herman Glogauer here tonight, and he's going to tell him all about me.
Well, isn't that fine? A big man like that coming here to talk about Susan.
Will you introduce me to him?
I think you'd be just great with talkies and the way you recite and everything. I told May all about those poems you recited, especially that one. What was it?
Boots by Rudyard Kipling.
Yeah, that's it.
Boots, 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 boots.
Yeah, that's
Moving up and down
That's the
again.
one.
Five,
That's the one. Does she do that one about it takes a heap of loving?
to make a house of home? Oh, yes.
That's one of her best.
Miss Daniels said you probably did. She felt a lot more things about you too. I guess she's pretty interested.
Would you want to hear how they think?
I don't think she'll have to. I told her how Susan made me feel when that man in the poem goes crazy. I felt sort of weak myself, and she said she wouldn't want to take the chance.
You've been just wonderful to us, Doctor. I'd trust Susan anywhere with you.
Good evening. What's going on here?
Hello, Miss Daniels. Hello, Mr. Hyland.
Oh, May, Susan does know that poem's about living in a house or something.
I'm sure she does.
Well, come on, Susan. We'll get on that. We know you're going to meet Mr. Glogauer.
What, did George tell you that we were going to go meet Mr. Glogauer?
Oh, yes.
I think it's just wonderful what Dr. Lewis has accomplished. Just wonderful.
Take care of yourselves. Jerry, is there some way of making him silent as well as dumb?
I didn't hurt anything.
Well, kid, here it is. Hollywood. Was I right? All we gotta do is play our cards right. Things go right for us, and it won't be long now. We'll do things in style, too.
What do you mean, Jerry? Is that you and May are going to get married? Are you, May?
Oh, well, we've got all kinds of things in our mind. You'll be the first to know.
It's all about how he played the Glogauer.
He's pretty lucky when he came out here.
Oh, George, when Mr. Glogauer gets here and you're introduced to him, I want you to just say hello. See? In a pinch, say hello, Mr. Glogauer. But from that point on, nothing.
See, Mr. Glogauer will be getting here soon. Where's Helen?
Oh, down talking in terms of a couple hundred movie stars.
She's been darn nice to us.
Yeah, for 50% of the gross, she'd be nice to Mae West. Not now, dear. My dear, everyone is here tonight, and so excited. Nobody knows where they're at. And of course, wherever you turn, all you hear is sound. One must be very careful who one insults these days. It's maybe the very ones who survive. It's pretty well topsy-turvy, aren't they? I should say so. You know what I just heard? You know that big spectacle of the Old Testament? Well, Mr. Zutkin, I'm the oldest of 12 stepmothers. He just told me they stopped running the picture and they're scrapping the whole thing. They're not going to make anything but talkies from now on.
Big people, the Schlossman brothers. I'd like to meet you.
Are they all here tonight? Oh, well, 12 of them. That shows you what they think of talkies. This is the first time maybe they've all been in Hollywood at the same time. Mr. Glogauer should be coming now.
Yes, this card just drew up.
They always give him an escort so we can get to the lobby. He says yes to our little proposition. We can turn this into a celebration. It was marvelous you were able to get him to come. Oh, they'll all come running now, even the big ones. Mr. Glogauer is scared still. He was the first one to turn on the light when I told him. Oh, yes.
What did he turn it down for?
He just didn't have enough vision, Doctor. Here he is now.
No, 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 no! I can't see anyone! No one!
Well, now, he was a great man himself.
No, Mr. Glogauer, we're not seeing one. Please go on out. Come on.
That's it, close the door. Let's have a little peace with me.
Glogauer, this is Miss Daniels, Mr. Hartman, and Dr. Lewis.
How are you?
Mr. Glogauer, Mr. Glogauer.
What?
You in the mood for a great duo?
What?
Those pale hands.
No, let me go!
What was all that about? They all know Mr. Glogauer, so they try to show him they can act.
It's terrible, terrible. Everywhere I go, they act at me. Everybody acts at me.
That's the penalty of being so big a man.
All over the hotel they come in. Ordinarily, I say, let's go to my place, where we have some peace.
In his housemaid, you saw it from the train. But the inside man, I want you to see his back. You must see his back. Oh, I can hardly wait.
Anyway, phone my secretary, I'll send a car for you.
Why, that'll be wonderful. And what a car it is, a Rolls Royce. You don't say.
Well, Mr. Glogauer, we understand you're in the midst of quite a revolution here.
I should say he is.
Is it a revolution? What did they have to go and make pictures cost for? Things were going along fine. You couldn't stop making money. Even if you turn out a good picture, you made money.
It's true, the entire motion picture industry is on the verge of a new era.
Sure, it's colossal. A fellow sings a couple songs at them, and they all go crazy.
But why not teach your own people English? We'll take them in hand, and then give them back to you perfect in the use of the English language.
I told you about their school in London, Lady Tree. It's entirely a matter of correct breathing, Mr. Glogauer. You see, abdominal respiration is the keynote to elocutionary training. You know it's all a question of breathing.
Oh, sure.
Not many people will teach them how to talk, Mr. Glogauer, but we'll have them talking as well as you do.
Well, I don't ask miracles.
Mr. Glogauer, the Schlepping brothers are flying to Brooklyn in half an hour. They want to see you right away.
Tell them in a minute, and tell Phyllis Fontaine and Flora Belly I want to see right away. Two of my biggest stars. Tell them to come up alone.
Yes, sir.
Excuse me, I'll be right back.
Phyllis Fontaine, $7,500 a week she draws down,
The most beautiful legs in America.
but you can't hear her.
Hello, Harvey!
Ah, here we are, girls. This is the ladies I was telling you about. Phyllis Fontaine and Flora Belly.
Hello, darling.
Hello, Helen.
Listen, girls. This is Miss Daniels, Mr. Hyland, voice specialist from England.
Voice specialist? How do you know?
Oh, Miss Daniels, here they are. This is what I'm up against.
I'd like to listen to their breathing if I may, Mr. Glogauer. You see, if you're able to breathe rhythmically, then there's every reason to believe that you'll be able to talk correctly. That's right.
That's the whole story.
Will you breathe, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Well,
Please breathe.
you got something?
Absolutely.
Keep still, girls. We got something, huh? We ain't late yet. What's next? What do they do now?
Well, the president today should just keep breathing.
Wait around. Don't go home. I'll tell you how we handle this. You teach these people to talk, it's worth all the money in the world. You people came out here just in time.
There he is, Susan, right there.
Boots by Rudyard Kipling. Boots!
What do you mean? I don't know. What are you talking about?
Up and down and up.
The 12 Schlepping brothers!
Miss Layton at this end.
Requisitions department.
Requisitions, right.
But the important part is the retake. That's it, your retakes? Yeah, you take a retake because they aren't good. Oh, it's a retake. Yeah, it's a retake's all right.
I shall have to consult the option department. All options are taken care of by the option department. That would be Mr. Fleming of the option department? Correct. Miss Layton at this end. Who? Oh, yes, he knows you're waiting. How many days? Well, I'm afraid you'll just have to wait. What? Oh, no, you couldn't possibly see Mr. Glogauer. Mr. Glogauer, you can only see Mr. Glogauer through Mr. Weisskopf. Oh, no, you can only see Mr. Weisskopf through Mr. Wiederstein. Oh, no, no one ever sees Mr. Wiederstein. He needs to see Miss Daniels. Miss Daniels is still busy with the 10 o'clock class. Take room number 6. I'll be there in 3 minutes. Number 6 in 3 minutes.
Get it? She makes it long for this rich rover to save her sisters. And the show goes on. Plenty of spots for numbers and a few things.
Are they ready for his sister? Waiting for you, Mr. Sullivan.
Sometimes the good sister thinks she's double-crossing her when she sees her kissing the fellow.
Hello, boys.
Oh, hello, you're just in time waiting here.
Okay.
Wait till I tell you the new twist. She makes believe she's gone for this rich fellow for her sister's sake. Get it?
And the show goes on. For God's sake, Art, I told you that at lunch yesterday.
Did?
I don't mind just sitting on Fox or MGM. That's legit. But if we steal the rental stuff, we'll know where we are.
Miss Layton at this end. No, Miss Daniels is still busy with the 10 o'clock class. No, the lisp and nasal tones are 1. Didn't you receive the notification? Have Miss Daniels' secretary send you one. You're welcome. Have you an appointment with Mr. Glogauer?
Yes, ma'am. Correct. Right through Mr. Wiederstein to Mr. Weisskopf to Mr. Glogauer.
I'll tell Mr. Weisskopf if you'll give me your name.
My name is Lawrence Ray. I gave it to you yesterday and the day before that. I would like to see Mr. Glogauer.
I'll tell Mr. Weisskopf.
I'm ever so much obliged.
Miss Layton at this end. Yes. Holding the line for 30 seconds. You're welcome, sir.
Wait,
going to the men's room, and if anybody needs me, I'll be in number 3.
Mr. Weisskopf's secretary, Miss Layton, at this, you received yesterday's appointment slips in 7 minutes. Kindly on Mr. Weisskopf. Okay then. Thank you. By the seashore, she sells seashells by the seashore. 60 simple, self-decided, slim, sounding stuff, and swap. She sells seashells by the seashore. 60 simple, supple, siren, slick, and smiling stuff, and swap. She sells seashells by the seashore. 60 simple, supple, siren, slick, and smiling stuff, and swap. Ain't it wonderful, Miss Layton? We can talk now. Yeah, and you're doing side better than most of them.
Oh, I think your progression has been just marvelous. I can't see why they didn't bring you people from New York.
Yeah, get from the legitimate stage, whatever that is. Yeah, Miss Layton, we've been wondering about that. What the heck is a legitimate stage anyway?
It's what Al Jolson used to be on before he got big in pictures. He used to work for some real estate people, the Schuberts.
You know, someone told me at a party the other day, they said John Barrymore used to be on the legitimate stage. I heard the same thing too, but didn't believe it.
My, you wouldn't know it from his acting, would you?
And that ain't all. I heard they say John Barrymore's made good. Some sister of his is trying to get out here.
Oh yes, Elsie Barrymore. You know what's been kind of interesting, the legitimate stage. Of course, it was before my time, but my grandfather used to go to the Civil War too.
The Civil War. Did T.W. Griffin produce that?
Are you coming?
Yeah. I got the seashells. I got the supple siren.
Oh yeah, that's fine, but I won't be happy till you get the rigor mortis. Oh, Daniel, there's some people waiting for you outside. They're the stomach muscles and the abdominal breather. Are you ready for them? Have you heard the girls' voices just now, Mrs. Layton? Yes, Miss Daniel. How does it sound to you? Oh, wonderful, Miss Daniel. You know, have you heard about the Glogauer tests? What, have you heard of yet, or what? No, I haven't, but I'm sure they'll be all right. Thanks. Miss Daniels, I know you're very busy, but sometime I'd like you to give me a little poem I prepared called Boots by Rudyard Kipling. I've never heard Boots before. I've been having some trouble with my sibilant sounds, but my valves are open all right. I've been trying all kinds of sibilants, but I just can't seem to. Excuse me. Oh dear, some of the nasal throat toners are out there with the abdominal breathers. What shall I do about it? I'll tell them we got 2 good ones and drown the rest. Oh, just send them all in. I'll make one job of it. Yes, ma'am. Understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Say, May, don't you have a class waiting?
I know.
Oh, Miss Layton, is Mr. Glogauer busy? I'd like to talk to him.
I'm afraid he is, Mr. Hyland.
Well, tell him I've got some figures on the school. Just take a couple minutes.
I'll tell him, but he has conference after conference all morning. Say, Jerry, are you busy for lunch?
Afraid I am, May.
Oh, I see.
Booked up pretty solid for the next 2 days. It's hard finding time.
Of course. I mean, the school's a pretty big thing, isn't it? But I guess you don't really have much time.
Oh, sorry, May.
Well, are you busy tonight, or?
No, I'll party up at Jack Young.
I see.
May,
What?
is it stomach in and chest out, or chest in and stomach out?
What?
Well, I've got them all in there. There's chest out, and now I don't know what to do. I was just talking to them until you got ready.
George, you have a big, comfortable chair in the corner of my office.
You mean the blue one?
That's the one. Will you go and sit in that until about February? You know, I'm only one less ahead of that class myself.
Well, what do you need?
Let it go, George.
May,
What?
Susan's doing all right in school, isn't she?
Sure, great.
I'm awfully glad of that. She's the kind of girl I've always been looking for, May. And she says I am, too.
It isn't serious between you two, is it?
Well, Susan says she won't get married until she's carved out her career.
Oh, that's all right then.
She likes me. That part of it's right. She says, look at Eleanor Doozy. Her career was almost ruined by love.
She's certainly careful, that girl.
May, what about
Daniels, can Susan get away for a little while? Hello, Doctor. If you don't mind Susan getting away for a little while, will you? We'll go with Susan.
Is anything the matter?
It's nothing to worry about. It's just the caller wants to call us up. Long distance, down to the hotel in 10 minutes. That really only leaves us 9 minutes. He sent a telegram and said he wants to talk to us.
Well, I'll get Susan. Will it be all right if I run along with you while you telephone?
Why,
You don't care, do you, May?
No, indeed.
Susan!
Oh, ridiculous.
oh, Stanley, please don't go. I wonder if I could talk to you about Susan. I mean, how she's getting along in school.
Of course.
I've been kind of worried about her lately. You do think she's doing all right?
Sure, I think she's got Garvie lift a dozen ways.
Stanley, what at?
Oh, pretty near everything. Crocheting.
Oh, I'm
Yes.
so happy to hear you say that because the caller gets so impatient. I've tried to explain to him that it ain't so easy out here, even if you're the kind of actress Susan is.
It's even harder if you're the kind of actress Susan is.
Oh, and he said for me to say to you that you're doing the most courageous work out here since the earthquake. But I'm not quite sure what he was driving at.
Thanks, and tell Mr. Walker for me that I'm doing the best work I can and that the Red Cross is helping me.
He did so much good job today. It's really a wonderful organization.
Mother, what does Father want?
We've got 6 minutes.
Oh, I don't know, dear. Martha's got to hurry. 6 minutes. You mustn't keep Mr. Walker waiting.
What kind of a man is he, Mrs. Walker? Do you know him well?
Isn't there some sort of disease you get from sitting?
If there is, I got it.
What do you do about meals? Have them sent in?
What's the record for these chairs? Do you know?
I'm not sure. I think there's a man named Wentworth. He sat right through Hoover's administration.
Oh, Miss Daniels, we're waiting for you. We're still breathing in here.
Yeah? Oh, well, I'll put a stop to that. Yes?
Remember me, Princess? I'm the marathon chair sitter.
What was the name, please?
Lawrence Vale. I would like to see Mr. Glogauer.
Oh, yes, I gave him your name, but he doesn't seem to remember you. What was it about, please?
It's about pain in a strictly localized section.
Where is Mr. Glogauer in the station? Get the whole defense to me right away.
He's on number 8, Mr. Camerling.
I just come from number 8. He is not.
Then he must be at the conference with the exploitation people, Mr. Camerling.
Then maybe he is through. Try his office.
I've just come by there. He isn't in his office.
Go to June. Must be someplace. Try number 8 again.
Yes, Mr. Camerling.
For 2 cents, I will go back to Germany.
Mr. Camerling calling Mr. Glogauer. Imperative.
Ah, America. Reinhardt begged me not to come. On his knees in the Schauspiel house, he begged me.
Hello? Mr. Glogauer not there? Just a moment. He isn't there, Mr. Camerling. Any message?
Yes, tell him I take the next boat back to Germany. Wait! Who is on the phone?
Mr. Weisskopf?
Give it to me. Hello, this is Cameron. How much publicity is there sent out on Gorosito? What? No, we are lost. Why? But I tell you why. Because I have seen her and she is impossible. I will not ruin my American career. What a country! What a country! To be back in Germany with Eisenstein.
Like all this equipment, they don't know what they're getting when they buy this stuff.
They sure do buy a lot of junk.
Look at that stuff. It all wrenched out of place. This plug all torn out too. Haven't got a new one in your bag, have you?
No, I don't think so. Let me check. Nope, nothing doing.
No use till we get one.
I work here. I have an office, a room with my name on the door, and that long hall where the authors work. You know, the people that write, authors. It's a room with my name in gold letters on the door.
What was the name again?
Lawrence Vale!
Oh, you're Lawrence Vale. Well, I'll tell Mr. Warren.
No, just let the whole thing drop. Just answer one question. This is a picture studio, isn't it?
What?
They make talking pictures here, is that right? They do something here, don't they?
I'll tell Mr. Weisskopf.
No, don't be afraid of me. I'll not harm you. It's just that I have been in my office, the place with my name on the door, for months and months. Nobody ever noticed me. I don't expect to see Mr. Glogauer anymore, because tomorrow I'm going home. Who knows? Maybe I'll run into him tomorrow. I would love to know what God looks like before I die.
Yes, I'll tell Mr. Weisskopf. Good morning, Miss Layton. Good morning. My dear, what is the matter? You're shaking. There was a drunken man in here just now. Poor child. Well, let me read it out. You'll make it work as fast as you can. Yes, I know. Dirty dog in, Miss Layton? Yes, she got in this morning. They say she's simply gorgeous. You know, more people tell me I look like her. Tell me, Miss Layton, my people wants me to try to find, what is his name? Who works here? Lawrence Vale? Lawrence Vale? No, I don't think I've ever heard of him. No, he's a playwright from New York. He was supposed to get in ages ago, but he seems to have just disappeared. Why, isn't that terrible? Oh, hello, Helen. May dear. 12 o'clock already, and I have no idea. Helen, if you've got just a minute, I'd like to talk to you about how you thought everything was going. Oh, wonderful, wonderful. You know, my column being translated into Spanish now. We'll be reading it way over in Moscow. But what I was going to ask was, have you heard anything about how the school's doing? What people think of it? Oh, well, you'd know more about that than I would. After all, it is your enterprise. I'd be the last person. So you have heard something, haven't you, Helen? Who from? Mr. Glogauer? Why, of course not, May. Whatever gave you such an idea. But you never can know about things out here. Sometimes some things catch on, and then again, well, thanks. I'm very grateful. Well, I don't suppose you made any plans for the future? Oh, not yet. After all, you've got all those friends in England. Oh, yeah, all of them. Well, maybe we'll go over in the spring, but if I do, we must get together. By all means. Well, one way out. Pardon me, but can you tell me where I am? What? Do you know where I am? I'm thinking about Miss May Daniels, Mr. Jerome Hyland, and Dr. George Lewis. Well, I'm May Daniels. What do you want? Oh, I don't want you. I just want to know where your office is. Oh, well, it's right in there. Thanks. You won't find anybody in there. Oh, that's quite all right. I just got to do some work on the door. Oh, on the door? Yeah, I just got to take the names off. Oh, the names are coming off the doors? That's right. So that's your business, is it? Taking names off the doors? Nah, I put them on too. I worked than anybody else in Hollywood. Out at First National the other day, I went right through the entire studio, every door. Why, some of the people didn't even know they were out until they saw me taking their names off. Must have been a nice surprise. Yeah, sometimes they leave their office, go out to lunch, and when they come back, it says, barbershop. You're only going out to lunch. If you'll excuse me. Yes, you go on. Very nice meeting you. Much obliged. Yeah, you sure you know where it is? Right through there. See it? Right. Got some names in it. Mr. Jerome Hyland. Say, Jerry, you got one?
No, I've got to see Weisskopf right away.
No, you don't have to see Weisskopf right away.
Yeah, but I do.
No, but you don't.
What are you talking about?
Jerry, did you ever happen to hear the story about the 3 bears?
Huh?
You see, there was the Papa Bear, and the Mama Bear, and the Cameron Bear, and they all came out to Hollywood, started boys' school, remember? Oh, and a couple of them were engaged to be married. Oh, yeah, that's right, they were engaged.
You're going to talk in circles.
All right, I'll stop talking in circles, Jerry. We're washed up.
What? What do you mean?
I said we're washed up. Through. Finish it out.
What do you mean we're out?
Oh, I knew it myself when I didn't hear about those texts. I felt it. And then 10 minutes ago, Helen Hobart walked Well, I suppose we better get our things together. Don't take it so hard, Jerry. We've been up against it before.
But a thing like this, it knocked me all of a heap.
Don't let it lick you, Jerry. We'll pull out of it. We always do.
But this time, everything was going so. What are we gonna do, May?
What do you say we go to Hollywood, Jerry? I hear they're panic stricken out there. They'll fall on the necks of the first people.
But the important part is your retakes.
That's it, your retakes?
Yeah, you take the retakes if they aren't good and you got no picture.
Oh, it's the retake.
Yes, the retakes, all right.
Anything happen after I left?
I just came to get my books and things. Oh, George.
Susan, you can't come back like this. It's not fair. Why, you were just made for the talkies. You and I both. Did you tell your father you were waiting for Technicolor?
He said stop being a fool and come on home.
But giving up with your career will only have cars.
He wants his mother home too. He says he's eating all his meals in restaurants, so it's ruining his stomach.
But you've got your own life to live. You can't give up on your career on account of your father's stomach.
Well, it's no use, George. You don't know Father. Why, when the first talking picture came to Columbus, he stood up and talked right back to it.
Pretty hard man to get on with.
Oh, you don't know, George. It's going to be terrible going back to Columbus after all this.
I'm not going to let you go back, Susan. Something's got to be done about it.
But it's so hopeless.
Would you mind Mr. Glogauer for me? Excuse me? Are you one of the chosen people?
What?
Do you work here?
Oh, I thought you meant what? Yeah, I work here. I'm Dr. Lewis.
Dr. Lewis, I have a question. Won't go any further. Have you seen Mr. Glogauer?
Oh, yes, lots of times.
Actually seen him, huh? I suppose you worked here a good many years.
Only 6 weeks.
Only 6 weeks. I wouldn't have thought it possible.
You work here too?
Yes, you see, Doctor, I'm supposed to be a playwright. Probably doesn't mean much to you, but my name is Lawrence Vale. It doesn't mean anything to you, does it?
No. What is it that you're doing here? Writing plays?
Not so far, I'm not.
Well, then, what are you doing?
Don't ask me that. I don't know. I don't know anything about it. I didn't want to come out to this godforsaken place. I had a beautiful apartment in New York and France, but they hammered at me and favored me.
You don't say.
And so I came. In a moment of weakness, I came. That was 6 months ago. I have an office in the secretary, and I draw my salary every week. But so far, no one has taken the slightest notice of me. I haven't met anybody outside the girl who hands me my check every week, and I haven't received a single assignment. In short, Dr. Lewis, I haven't done a single thing.
Why do you suppose they were so anxious to have you come out?
Who knows?
Don't you like it out here?
Dr. Lewis, I think Hollywood and this darling industry of yours is the most god-awful thing I've ever come across. Everybody behaving in the most fantastic fashion. Nobody acting like a human being. Thousands of dollars are wasted every day. Why is that? Do you know?
No, sir.
Me neither. This whole business is run in the hands of incompetence, that's all. I don't have to stay here, and I'm not going to. So you tell Mr. Glogauer for me that he can take his contract and put it where it'll do him the most good.
There's a lot in what you say, Mr. Vale. I've been having a good deal of trouble myself.
You bet there's a lot in what I say, only somebody got to tell it to Glogauer.
What do you want to do about it now? Miss Blake, where is Miss Blake? What do you want me to do? Do you realize that I brought that woman from New York, took her out of her show, and now she's trying to play or take contract for the next 3 months? Besides, she's got a big legit name. Take her out, he says.
But I will not ruin my career. She will be terrible. She is not the type. She's good actress, but it's the wrong part. The part is for a country girl. A girl from the country.
Don't I know it?
Don't see, she is a woman who has lived with a dozen men. And she looks it too. Can I do anything about that? I am just a director. I am not God.
What if it was explained to her? How hard would it take to explain a country girl?
But that is not the problem. The problem is that everybody knows about her. She's been in the newspapers. Every time they break a door down, they find her.
Let me get this straight. You mean she positively won't do?
Positively.
Well, if she positively won't do, I suppose there's something for it.
That's right.
We gotta get something quick.
But I know exactly the person.
What?
I know an actress who would fit the part perfectly.
Who is she? What is her name?
Her name is Susan Walker.
I've heard her before. done?
She hasn't done anything.
Hasn't done anything. Don't you understand? We must have a name.
Why?
Why must we have a name? I spent $300,000 on the picture, and he asked me, because Susan Walker has a name wouldn't draw flies. That's why. Not flies.
But she can play the part.
So what? Who would come to see her? Why do you argue on such a foolish subject? Everybody knows you can't do a picture without a name. What are you talking about?
Mr. Glogauer, there's something you want to know.
What?
This darling industry of yours is the most awful thing I've ever run into.
Is that?
Why don't people act human anyhow? Why are you so fantastic? Why do you go bring all these people out here, whoever they are, and give them all these money and then you don't do anything about it? Thousands of dollars right under your nose. Why is that? I mean, can you tell me why in the world you can't make pictures without having the stars playing parts they don't fit? Just because they've got a good name. And how about a girl that hasn't got a good name? And how about all these signs in this room, and that girl, and everything else? It's awful. All kinds of people come out here. Why don't you do something about it? Why don't you do something about a person like Miss Walker? Give her a chance. Why, she'd be wonderful. The whole business is in the hands of incompetence. That's what's the trouble. I'm afraid to give anybody a chance. And you turned the Vitaphone down. Yeah, you did. They're all afraid to tell it to you. But you did. And that's what's the matter with this business. It's in the hands of you turned the Vitaphone down.
He's right. Huh? He's right, and stand there and tell me that? That's colossal.
You mean what I said?
That's what we need in this business. A man who can come into it, and when he sees mistakes being made, speak out about them. Yes, sir, it's colossal.
Who is this man?
Yes, he was. Did I sign up for something?
I'm Dr. Lewis.
Who?
You know, the school.
The school. But the school isn't any good.
It is good.
Is it?
Why, of course it is. You people go around here turning things down, doing this and that.
Look, I'm pretty near five. I did five.
You see? And here's Susan Walker, just made for the talkies.
Say, who is this girl?
Who is she? Where is she?
Well, Mr. Kamerling knows her. I introduced her.
Yes, that's fine. She might be able to do it. She is stubborn.
Shall I bring her in?
Yes, right away.
She's right out here.
Turn the Vitaphone down. No one ever dare tell me that. I want my coffee!
Did you send for me, Mr. Glogauer?
Yes? Where is my coffee? I want my coffee.
Yes, Mr. Glogauer. Where will you have it?
Where will I have it? Where am I? Answer me that. Where am I?
Why, right here, Mr. Glogauer.
All right then, that's where I want my coffee.
Yes, sir.
Give me this time, right away. Miss Casey with her notebook.
Yes, sir.
Here she is, Mr. Glogauer. Here she is.
Say, I love you.
I love you.
Say, I hate you.
I hate you.
No time to talk salary, but you don't have to work. Miss Casey, where is Materstein? I want Materstein.
Here I am, Mr. Glogauer.
Materstein, listen to this. Miss Casey, take this down. Tell the office to drop everything you're doing and concentrate on this. Drop everything, no matter what it is.
Drop everything.
Drop everything. Why the New York office? The new English actress we just hired will arrive in New York next week. I want to go to New York first.
Does he mean me?
Yes, sir.
Arrange a reception at the Savoy Plaza and get a picture in every paper. I want everybody in the studio to get busy on this right away. Everybody. And I want you to get hold of Davis with me right away.
Get David.
Get David.
Get hold of Photo Play and Motion Pictures Magazine and the trade papers. I want them all. Send for Helen Hobart and tell her I want to see her personally. Hey, I want Baker to handle this, not Davis. Wait, never mind Davis.
Never mind, David.
Never mind.
Davis!
I want national publicity, 24 sheets, outdoor advertising, everything. Materstein, arrange a conference with me this afternoon with the whole publicity department. That's all.
Yes, sir.
Oh, George, what will Father say now?
Miss Casey, station, shoot those wires right off.
Yes, sir.
I'll be in my office in 10 minutes and no appointments for the rest of the day. That clear?
Yes, sir.
Now, tear up that old contract.
I haven't got one.
You are in charge of this whole thing, understand? What you say goes.
Yes, sir.
Oh, George.
When I have faith in a man, the sky's the limit. You know what I do with you, Doctor? I make you supervisor, in full charge of all Glogauer studios.
George, let me.
All right. May, Jerry, what do you think? I've just been made supervisor.
What?
Huh? I was really about to fight it from.
You did what?
The one man. Tomorrow, you get your own office with the full staff.
Hear that?
That's the way we do things out here. No time wasted on thinking. That's the way we do things. I get you anybody you want. Anybody you need. All you gotta do is say so.
I know who I want, Mr. Glogauer.
See, Gambling already knows. Name him, name him.
I want Miss Daniels and Mr. Hyland.
Those people? You don't want those people.
Mr. Glogauer, that's final. I have to have Miss Daniels and Mr. Hyland, or I can't do a thing. And if I can't have them, I walk right out.
California, here we go.
Here you are, Mr. Glogauer.
No, no, no.
It's positively.
Mr. Glogauer, I had nothing whatever to do with it.
Yes, Mr. Glogauer.
I'm sorry, will you?
Where are you going?
Oh, I don't know. To get a soda.
You just had one.
No, you stay around here. Say, I know Herman sent a call out.
What for?
Some picture without Buddy Rogers.
There's a catch in it somewhere. See, now what do you do?
I'm gonna be right here.
See that?
You got these straight.
We can look on camera. I know the way
Stop
to
shopping
it.
at the next ceremony.
What ceremony?
One that began yesterday, they're going to take the picture shopping.
I thought they took it.
Well, they didn't. I give you an arm and roll out. That's all you gotta remember.
They gonna do this now?
That's what they said when they chopped off yesterday.
Well, I'm ready.
All right, hey, you get me?
Yeah.
All right, where am I? Where am I? You got the bishop? The bishop's gonna be right about right here.
I don't have the bishop. I stay with Brian Drew.
Yeah.
All right, all right.
You make the run 31.
Excuse me. Can you go out and get me a copy of racing form? Here you are.
So, what's you playing?
I got one of the Porta Caliente. It looks good. Princess Fanny. Princess Fanny.
So, Miss Walker stands here. Did you get it?
Shift you just a little.
Shifter is right.
It's good, it's good.
That's better. Hey, anything doing yet?
Don't talk silly.
Just don't talk.
I'll be in the cafeteria if anything starts.
Where the heck is the bush shop? Oh, there you are.
Oh, I hear about design.
You know, these pews are so comfortable. I should go to church a long while. Well, good night.
Good night.
Nothing like a good comfy pew.
Yeah, what is it?
Oh, yes, Sam.
Okay.
Well, I just had a lovely that news. Susan's father's coming on for the wedding. Ain't that just too lovely? I'm all choked up inside. He wasn't coming at first. Looked as if he had to go to Bermuda with the Elks. You know the Elks are in Bermuda. The Elks are in Bermuda.
That Elks are in Bermuda.
The Elks are in Bermuda! Why was it the tell?
Is Dr. Lewis on set?
Not yet.
So here's the distinction.
He's at the architects.
Good morning, everybody. How are we doing?
Well, Mr. Glogauer wants to know the minute he gets here. Will you have somebody let me know?
All right. Where is Dr. Lewis? Where is Dr.
That's
Lewis?
the architects. I'll get Susan for
Okay.
you.
All right, people, we take the first seat. Come on, people, we take the first seat. Right? So,
We're on the home stretch, right?
that's fine, that's fine. We use a wedding ceremony scene on the church steps.
Oh, Mr. Chamberlain! I'm ready to be shot!
Here's the wedding ceremony we take on the church steps.
But I don't think I know that scene.
The scene on the church
George forgot to turn the lights on and everyone thought he meant it that way. No one's gonna notice anyways.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning!
Hello, darling. Well, Emily, what have I done this morning?
We're about to take the retake on the church steps.
Well, what else have I got to decide?
That is all. The retake on the church steps.
We're right on schedule. There's just the one scene left to take.
That is all. So only me.
We'll take that scene.
Attention, everybody! Attention, please, on set, attention, to take the retake on the church steps.
I'll decide everything else at 2 o'clock.
Hello, Dr. Lewis. I'm Miss Daniels. I met you in New York. Remember?
Hello, May.
All right, I'll be ready, Doctor. I'll be ready.
That's right.
All right, so I'll be ready to take the retake.
All right, we'll take the scene from wherever it was left off.
Okay, attention, please. You take the retake from where we left off. Attention, everybody. Take the retake where we left off. Ready, settle. Mr. Jackson, we got this straight.
What?
You do realize that when she says "I do," you release the pigeon.
Yeah.
And when she says "I do," you pull that feather down and the pigeons will come flying down.
They're not gonna fly down on me.
No.
Oh, I forgot. There aren't any pigeons.
But
Well, they had to stay up there so long, I kind of felt sorry for them. So, well, as long as we haven't got any, we won't use them. That's what we'll do. We won't use pigeons.
Oh, George, is that all I say?
What?
During the entire ceremony, just I do.
Is that all she says, May?
That's it. That's the part she knows, too.
Sure.
Well, you can conduct the entire ceremony, then you can say everything.
But that wouldn't fit the scenario.
Well, here's the happy family. Everything going on fine?
Right on schedule, Mr. Glogauer.
That's wonderful. What's going on now?
We're taking the last scene.
Oh, that's fine. I congratulate everybody. And the reason I came up here, you don't mind if I interrupt for a very special reason.
Oh, I know.
Everybody stay here, please. I want everybody to hear this.
Everybody listen to Mr. Glogauer. Mr. Glogauer is probably going to say something.
attention, everybody, attention.
Boys and girls, as many as you know, this is the last day out of the shoot. Many of you have worked for me before, but never under such happy circumstances. So I want you all to be here while I say something. When I went into the movie business, I made up my mind it should be run like a business. And with that in mind, that is what I've been trying to do. But never before have I been able to do that until today. Never has a picture of mine been finished exactly on the schedule. And what is the reason for this? It's because for the first time, we have a man who can make decisions and can make them like Dr. George Lewis. Oh, wait a minute, I'm not through yet. And so in recognition of his remarkable achievements, I take great pleasure in presenting him the very small token of my regard, a solid gold dinner set.
Ladies and gentlemen, and Mr. Glogauer, this is the first solid gold dinner set I have ever received. I don't know what to say, because this is the first solid gold dinner set I have ever received, and I don't really know what to say. All I can say is, it's wonderful, Mr. Glogauer. And now let's show Mr. Glogauer the finish of the picture and take the last scene.
All right, everybody, attention, please. Mr. Glogauer is ready. Mr. Jackson, I'll be ready. Mr. Jackson. Okay. I'll be lying. Praise. Very nice. How will we for sound? Good. All right. I'll be
Glogauer shall leave?
I do!
As these two have consented together in a court of window, in a witness, standing before this company and have given and paid their trouble, each to the other, I hereby pronounce them man and wife.
One girl. Hey, the horse ran 6. God dang it! I knew that would happen!
There you are, Mr. Glogauer. Embrace, fade out, the end.
I see, wait a minute. I don't understand. You said what?
Embrace, fade out, the end.
The end. You mean you take this scene last, but it's not really the end.
Sure it is.
How can that be? What about the backstage scene?
What backstage scene?
On the opening night when her mother is dying, she must act anyhow?
That wasn't in it, Mr. Glogauer.
Wasn't in it. I had 12 playwrights working on that.
But it wasn't in it.
This picture is about a little country girl
Yes, sir.
who joins a Broadway cabaret.
There isn't any Broadway cabaret.
No Broadway cabaret.
She doesn't come to New York, isn't it?
Doesn't come. So the cabaret owner doesn't make her go out with the bootlegger.
Why, no, Mr. Glogauer.
Well, what happens to her? What does she do?
What? This rich woman stops off at the farmhouse, and she takes her to Florida and dresses her all up.
And there's no backstage scene, any place.
No, she goes in swimming and gets too far out, and then Cyril Fonsdale happens to come.
Let me see the script, please.
It's all there, Mr. Glogauer. See? That's where she goes swimming.
You know what you've done, Doctor? You've made the wrong picture. That's all you've done. You've made the wrong picture.
But,
Are you sure, Mr. Glogauer?
Where did you get such a script?
but it's the one you gave me.
I never gave you such a script. She goes swimming. Swimming. Do you know who made this picture?
Well, everybody was here while we were making it.
Everybody was here. But where were your minds? Camerly! Camerly!
You can't blame me. Dr. Lewis gave me the script.
I brought you all the way out from Germany for this. Miss Layton! You held the script in your hands, but where were your eyes?
I got it in Dr. Lewis's office. I'm sure he couldn't have.
So on Wednesday, doctor, on Wednesday when we open, we gotta open. Then it goes to 400 exhibitors, and we got signed contracts. So tell me, what do we do?
Well, what do you think we ought to do?
Never in my life have I known such a thing. After this, I make a rule. Every scenario we produce, somebody has got to read it.
Yes.
You know, Miss Walker, you know what this does to you? You're through. Swimming, this kills your career. And you know who got paid for it? Dr. Lewis. And yes, where were your people while this was all going on?
Mr. Glogauer, I had nothing to do with the script. It was Dr. Lewis who gave it to me.
But Miss Daniels was here all the time, right with Dr. Lewis.
Yes, I was here.
But where was your mind?
To tell you the truth, Mr. Glogauer, I just thought it was an innocent rule. Yes, I couldn't tell any difference.
Huh?
And while we're on the subject, just why is it all Dr. Lewis's fault?
Why is it his fault? Who did this thing? Who else is to blame?
Well, if I'm not too inquisitive, Mr. Glogauer, just what do you do with yourself all the time? Play marbles?
What?
What do you do while all this is going on? Out to lunch?
I go to my office. That will be all. I go to my office. Mr. Supervisor, I make you a present. 17 years, and this is the worst thing that's ever happened. Come, Hyland. Oh, and one more thing. Let me be clear that nothing about this is to get out of the studio. That is official. Come, Hyland.
Mr. Glogauer, if I had been on set, this never would have happened with Dr. Lewis.
All right, that is all for today. You will be notified. Everybody, other actors back. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for this.
Don't cry like that.
You heard Mr. Glogauer. My career is ruined.
It's what thing?
That being as bad as he thinks it is.
Oh.
Just to set the record straight, George, how did you come to make the wrong picture, or don't you know?
Well, I've been trying to think. You know that thing in my office where we keep the new scenarios? Well, if you're in a hurry, it looks just like the wastebasket. And so I reached into it. Only it was the wastebasket.
Well, you certainly produced it.
Dr. Lewis, Miss Daniels.
Oh, we're right in here, right in here. I thought it'd take you a long time. You're late.
Executive office, no answer.
Hey, who else have you got? Why is it not? Rita Stein? Do you want yours?
You mean we're fired? Hey.
Good and fired. Oh, me too, George. Well, at least we got a solid gold dinner set. 106 pieces. Oh, well, we did have a solid gold dinner set. 106 pieces.
You ready to have your room, Dana?
No thanks. Where are we now?
Oh, still in the desert. I've been meaning to ask you. How come the gentlemen ain't going back?
Oh, well, that's a long story.
Yes, ma'am.
I wouldn't be surprised if one of them was with you sooner or later.
Oh, we make a 2-minute stop here. Anything you need?
No thanks. Where are we?
We make a stop at Needles Point. That's where they got that sanitary.
Oh, well, see, have they got a newsstand?
Yes, ma'am.
See if you can get a hold of Thursday's Los Angeles paper.
Yes, ma'am.
It's got to be Thursday's or I don't want it.
Right this way, sir, right this way. If you need any help, okay. Okay. Just a gentleman's going sanitarium.
What even is it, Mr. Vale?
Hello, Miss Daniels.
So you're the gentleman for the sanitarium?
That's right. Well, this is certainly a surprise.
Sit down.
Thanks. Well,
You're certainly the last gentleman. I hadn't heard you were ill. Nothing serious, I hope.
just a kind of breakdown under work.
I picked up reception room without me.
Then I heard about this place, sanitarium here. Sounded pretty good, so I came out. A fellow named Jenkins runs it. Seems he came out here to be a playwright as well. But he couldn't stand the sitting. Went bad in 8 months, so we started this place. Doesn't take anything but playwrights.
Good, is it?
Great. First 3 days, they stick you in a room without a chair in it. Then, they have an art gallery full of life-size portraits of all the studio executives. You see, for an hour every day, you go in there and say whatever you want to any of them. Yes, and what's this all about? Going home on a visit?
Well, going home.
Really? All washed up?
Scrubbed.
I'm kind of surprised.
Did you ever happen to meet Dr. Lewis?
Oh yes, I had quite the meeting with Dr. Lewis.
Well, Dr. Lewis did something that no man had ever done before. He told Mr. Glogauer about turning down the bicycle. That made him supervisor.
Only supervisor?
Oh, and then there was also Miss Susan Walker. Miss Walker is a young woman who has a chance of becoming the world's worst actress. I should say a very good chance. And so to cinch things, the doctor began by producing the wrong picture. Some little thing from 1910. The picture opened Wednesday.
My recollection of the 1910 pictures is that they weren't so bad.
They didn't have a doctor in those days. Most of the picture you can't see because the doctor forgot to tell them to turn the lights on. And then, did you happen to hear about the doctor's bright particular weakness?
Is there something else?
It's called Indian nuts. Oh, there must be one around here somewhere. Anyway, he chews them with sound. He kept cracking them right through the picture, and they recorded swell.
Decided you.
That and other things.
Funny, I should think there would be a great field out there for someone who could turn out the wrong picture.
Well, if you do it regularly, yes, but sooner or later the doctor would produce the right picture and spoil everything.
Not the doctor.
Maybe you're right.
Here's your papers, Miss Daniels.
Oh, thanks.
I brought you those colors.
Yes, these are probably not the notices.
Oh, you mean for the picture?
It wouldn't surprise me.
Well, you're certainly a brave girl asking for these.
I may as well know the worst.
Human Orchids, that the name of it?
That's it.
And all talking, all singing.
Oh, lousy picture.
I guess that must be what they mean by 100%. Never in the history of Hollywood has so tumultuous an ovation been accorded to any picture.
Oh, down there.
Okay. Herman Glogauer's Gingham and Orchids is a welcome relief from the avalanche of backstage pictures. It marks a turning point in the motion picture industry, a return to the sweet simplicity and tender wistfulness of yesteryear.
It does say that?
Don't take my word for it.
Oh. A new star twinkled across the cinema heavens last night, and the audience took her to its heart. Here at last was an actress who was not afraid to appear awkward and ungraceful. Seen on the church steps where she waved to the onlookers below, her hand revealed a positively doozy-like quality. Well, I'll tell you about that someday.
I'll be there.
Then, too, the lighting of the picture is superb. Dr. Lewis wisely sees the value of leaving the climax to the imagination of the audience. In the big scenes, almost nothing was visible. In the opening scenes, the audience was puzzled by the constant knocking, and it seemed to us that something might be wrong with the sound apparatus. Then suddenly we realized that what was being done was what Eugene O'Neill did in the constant beating of the tom-toms and the Emperor Jones, the beat of hail on the roof. Huh. It is another of the masterly touches brought to the picture by that new genius of the films, Dr. George Lewis. Huh.
Here's a telegram for you, ma'am.
Oh, thanks. My guess is that this is from the new genius of the films. Yes. The picture is colossal. It has put the movies back to where they were 10 years ago. I'm one man of talkies. They keep coming to me to decide things. Please take next train back. Jerry is gone and I'm all alone out here. They have made an elk and Susan is an eastern star. Okay? Please take next train back. I need you. Where is Jerry? I am also a Shriner.
What are you going to do about that?
Jerry's gone and I'm so alone out there. I guess I'm going back.
Yes, you have to.
You know, if George is all alone out there, then there's another thing. So long as George owns Hollywood now, there are one or two reforms that I'd like to put in place. Do you know what I'm going to do?
What?
I'm going to gather all those page boys together and take their signs away from them. Then nobody will know where anybody is. And I'm going to take Miss Layton out of that reception
What
room.
cushions on those chairs?
And make her ask for an appointment to get back in.
So, as far as my plans for Mr. Glogauer are concerned, I can only say that the coming year will be a Glogauer year. And by the time all of our plans have been carried into effect, why, the legitimate stage had better look to its laurels.
They're waiting for you on number 8, Dr. Lewis.
Dr. Lewis at number 8 at 3:20.
Dr. Lewis, will you turn your head just a little this way?
Dr. Lewis wrote to Chapter 7, September 1910.
Oh, yes, my biography. I was still living in Medallion Hand. I was but a boy, and one day an idea came to me. I decided to be an usher.
Please, Dr. Lewis, I need your endorsement. Can you please read the endorsement with me? And I need to know which tie you like better.
Dr. Lewis, can I please endorse that statement?
1 minute more, Doctor.
Dr. Lewis, I have Dr.
Dr. Lewis.
Okay.
It's getting late.
Getting all those contracts, Doctor.
Well, Miss Walker's making a personal appearance in San Francisco. She'll be here pretty soon.
The doctor has no free time this month. All requests must be submitted in writing.
But Dr. Lewis, what about the next Columbus? They're downstairs. Should I send them up?
Tell them I'll join them later.
Yes, sir.
Dr. Lewis, can I say it?
I'm not half finished here.
Now, where were we?
Oh, you were going to be an usher.
I became an usher, and pretty soon I was put in charge of the last 2 rows of the mezzanine.
Oh, hello, George.
Hello, darling.
All right. The doctor will start chapter 8 on Tuesday at 12:15.
All right. How was it, Susan?
Oh, it was wonderful. Thousands of people in arc lights, my name on top of everything. Oh, it was wonderful, George.
And wonderful up here, too. I'm up to chapter 8 in my biography, and there's a man painting my portrait. Oh, wait. I've got a surprise for you, Susan.
What is it, George? Tell me quick.
3 guesses.
A swimming pool?
No.
2 swimming pools?
It's an airplane.
Oh, George.
The man gave it to me for nothing. All I had to do was buy a few airplanes from Mr. Glogauer.
Oh, that's wonderful, George. Just what we needed.
First, I was only going to buy a couple, but the man kept talking to me. And it worked out that if I bought a few more, I'd get one free.
George, you're so clever. You couldn't have gotten me a nicer surprise. Isn't everything just wonderful?
Yes, it is. Only I wish May and Jerry would get here.
George, you mustn't worry about it. They got your telegrams.
Yes, but you see, Susan, we've always been together. This is the first time in years I haven't been together. And
Dr. Lewis, I want to talk to you. Walker, how do you do? Dr. Lewis, did you order 460 aeroplanes?
How's that?
460 airplanes have just arrived in front of the studio. They say you ordered.
Don't you believe in aviation?
But the question is, Doctor, why did you order 460 airplanes?
Mr. Glogauer, another 100 airplanes just arrived, and they're coming every minute. They're coming in groups of 50, Mr. Glogauer.
What is this, Doctor? Don't tell me you ordered more than 460 airplanes.
They're coming in groups of 50, Mr. Glogauer.
50?
It was only 2,000.
2,000? Only 2,000. I want everybody in my office meeting. Mayor Stein, Weisskopf.
Yes, sir. Mr. Newstein, Mr. Weisskopf.
2,000 airplanes. 17 years, and this is the worst thing that's happened.
I told them you were in. You couldn't see anybody.
What's the matter, George? Shouldn't you have bought the airplanes?
But Mr. Glogauer, I don't see what you're so angry about.
All I did was buy a few airplanes.
Hello, Miss Daniel. Hello, Miss Layton. Have you been away? I see you got some new decorations. How's that? Is that all they do? No fireworks? Aren't they lovely? Mr. Glogauer had them put in the day the picture opened. Dr. Lewis walked in, the whole studio lit up. Mr. Glogauer, too. How's that? Say, Miss Layton, is Mr. Hyland around? Mr. Hyland. Oh, Mr. Hyland isn't with us anymore. Oh, he isn't? Where did he go? Well, I don't know, Miss Daniels. I only know he's with the company. I think he went back east. Went back east? When did he leave, Miss Layton? Well, I really don't know, Miss Daniels. Didn't he say anything when he left?
Miss Layton, Mr. Glogauer wants his coffee. He's going crazy.
That's the second time this morning.
He wants it over again. He's absolutely raving.
Well, that's the second time this week he's raving.
Hey!
Hi, Mr. Dr. Lewis.
Gosh dang, I'm glad to see you, Meg. Did you get my telegrams? I've been wiring you and wiring you.
George, where's Jerry?
I don't know. Isn't he with you? He went to find you.
When? Where? When?
What? Wait, right after you did. He had a big fight with Mr. Glogauer. He told him all kinds of things, and then he went looking for you, but you were gone already.
You mean Jerry got fired?
He didn't even get a letter.
Well, where is he now? Where is he likely to go? Didn't he say anything when he left?
I don't know. Look, May, something terrible has happened. I bought a lot of airplanes.
Look, George, where is Jerry now?
He didn't say anything, May. He just said he was going to find you, and that nothing else mattered.
He didn't say anything, eh? Just that?
He'll come back, May. I mean, what am I going to do about the airplanes? Hello, Jerry.
May, you've got to listen to me. You were right. I knew you were right the minute you walked off that set, and I went up to Glogauer and told him so.
I told her, Jerry. I told her all about it.
The answer is, here I am.
Here he is, May. We're all together again.
Are we together, May? How about it, May? Are we together?
Jerry, what do you mean by leaving George alone out here?
Well, I wasn't going to stay here without you.
Well, why didn't you come after me?
I did.
All right, then.
Yes, sir. We're all together again.
What's the matter?
Oh, it's okay, gentlemen. Let a lady have a moment, for God's sakes. It's just all together again. It seems so long.
May, I won't ever forgive myself.
No, don't, Jerry. From now on, we're the army with banners, and whatever we do. George's the biggest man in Hollywood, and we're burning the high wave.
No, we aren't, May.
What?
Mr. Glogauer is awful bad. I bought 2,000 airplanes.
You did what?
I bought 2,000 airplanes.
What for?
I don't know. The man must have been a salesman.
Let me have it straight. You bought 2,000 airplanes.
That's right.
For Mr. Glogauer.
I got one free.
What did you do it for?
Can't we do something with them? There ought to be some way to use 2,000 airplanes.
Well, Jerry, here you are. What you gonna do about it?
Well, if somebody offered you an airplane.
Well, Doctor,
George!
you've done it again. Isn't it wonderful?
Huh?
Well, you've done it again. What a man you are, Doctor. What a man you are. Ah, Miss Daniels, Mr. Hyland, did you hear what the doctor did? He went out and bought 2,000 airplanes. Wasn't it wonderful?
Wonderful.
How the trend is changing, Miss Daniels. They've been phoning. Everybody wants to make an aeroplane. But they can't make it because the doctor bought up all the aeroplanes. Every company's been phoning, offering me any amount.
Yes,
Always make believe you were doing the wrong thing, and then, Doctor, I bow to you.
Oh, Georgie, you don't need us. You go ahead and be yourself. Mr. Glogauer.
Yes?
Do you know the studio's being torn down?
What?
There are a lot of workmen downstairs. They have orders to tear down the studio.
Tear down the studio! Tell me to go ahead, tell me to go ahead.
Okay now, Mr. Glogauer.
I don't know what's going on, but I know it'll turn out all right.
That's better. We're putting up a bigger one, Mr. Glogauer.
It's a good idea.
Wonderful. Another trend coming, eh, Doctor?
Sure, sure.
Isn't he